Welcome back to Score on Business. Our next guest is Mickey Randolph, and most of our guests in this earlier session were talking about the importance of keeping up with your money, of knowing the margins, of knowing if you're making money or not. And Mickey, while is an entrepreneur himself, but also what his business does is help people make sense out of the money. Mm-hmm. And so, Mickey, can you tell us just a little bit about Randolph Accounting?
Sure. Randolph Accounting Resources is a resource for small to medium-sized companies that need assistance with their accounting functions. Mm-hmm. I started the business 6 years ago, and it started off as just a affordable outsourced solution mm-hmm. for companies that needed a CFO or a controller, that expertise, and it started off going great, but then more and more demand came for staff accountant type functions, and we've added that phase to our business to where we can process payroll, do the payroll tax returns, do the payables, and reconcile bank accounts and those type of things. What we try to do to diversify ourselves and distinguish ourselves away from the rest of the pack is that we go to the businesses and work with them. It's not pack up your stuff, send it to us, we'll process it and get it back to you. We go and we actually work on site. So we're there to answer questions, we're there to service the needs of the client, and at the same time we process whatever things that they need us that they want us to do. And I'm just thankful that God gave me the opportunity, and it's been fun.
Awesome. So this show is primarily for people who are starting a business. So someone starting a business, what do they need to do?
Well, a couple of things. You have to kind of decide if you're going to be, if you're going to incorporate, be an LLC. If that's the case, then you've got to register, first of all, with the federal government. You got to get your federal tax ID. You have to register with the state governments, and so like here in Tennessee, you have to register with the Department of Revenue and the Secretary of State and get all of that filing put in place. You need to have articles of organization, those type of things, and usually you can go to an attorney to get that stuff done. You can go to an accountant to get that stuff done, but you got to get registered with the different local and federal governments. Okay.
You mentioned LLC or Subchapter S. What are the advantages of that?
You're getting into some tax stuff now. There are advantages of being a corporation,
right?
And that can be a C Corp or an S Corp. There's advantages of being an LLC. One shoe doesn't fit all. One size doesn't fit all. And so I think that as you have different circumstances and what you're trying to accomplish, that's where we need to get to a tax advisor. And and they can advise where to go from there.
Yeah. So let's say I'm a business and all my receipts are in a shoebox, and I have a check register. I've just never used it. Yeah. Am I beyond hope?
Oh, you have hope. You have hope. And just the fact that you're conscientious enough to keep all your receipts in a shoebox is a good start. We can start with that to get the financial records put together. If we can get you to use a check register, that'd even be better. One of the things that we want to make sure happens is a lot of times entrepreneurs, when they get started, they have their personal expenses and their business expenses all lumped into together. And my advice is to have separate bank accounts, separate credit cards, because there's going to come a time when you're going to need to have financial statements formulated. You're going to have to provide tax information to your tax person to get your tax return done, and that is just a major hurdle and a hassle that you just don't want to go through if you can avoid it.
And like if you want to sell the business, if you want to borrow money, you're going to have some.
Yeah, the bankers don't like you to bring a shoebox in. They like to have something a little bit better than that.
Okay. So, if I'm in business and I can't stand in keeping up with the paperwork, which is really who I am, you know, what do I do about that? I mean, what I like is helping companies get their needs met. Anything unrelated to that, I don't have any interest.
I hear this all the time. All the time. I don't like doing it. I don't want to do it. I want to go out here and make money. And when business owners are having to do things that don't make them money, it frustrates them. and rightfully so. They're in the business to make money, and my advice is to find that professional that can do your accounting work and write your checks and do the bank recs, because if you're sitting doing that, you're missing opportunities to make money. And so my advice is go make money, go do what you do best, and then those opportunities will far outweigh the expense that it may cost you to have an accountant or somebody that can process your paper for you.
Right. Okay, well, we need to take a break for a moment. And so, y'all, come on back. Don't go away. We'll be back in just a moment.